you look at your program, you'll see the mission statement of the Poet Laureate Project, which is inspiring and celebrating poets and poetry in our community. And as long as I've known Price Strobridge, which is a pretty long time, he has done that. He has lived this mission statement. Jim used the word exuberant. That was a word I was going to use. Price is somebody who lives poetry, who exudes poetry, who celebrates poetry no matter where he goes. It's been a real pleasure to know Price and hear him for years. And he's a wonderful performer of his own poems. If you look at his bio, you'll see that in 2005 he was selected by the Pikes Peak Arts Council as a Performance Poet of the Year. 2006 he was selected by the Gazette as the People's Choice Award for Poet. He's published a volume of poetry, which I hope is going to be coming back into print sometime. Unmasking the Heart. Okay, I hope that it comes back into print. Price has served for a very long time as one of the judges of the Jean Chavone Poetry Prize, sponsored through the Library District. He is a raconteur. Anybody who has asked me who's the next Poet Laureate after the selection was made, and it's not easy making these selections. I mean, there's hard choices. It's, you know, I was the head of the selection committee. A number of people in the room were on the committee, and it's never an easy thing to do. But Price is going to do a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful job. What I was leading up to say is that anybody who has asked me who's the next laureate, I say Price Strobridge. The immediate reaction is, oh, I like Price. Which I don't think everybody would say that about me. You know, a lot of people don't like me. You know, I can't speak for Jim, but I got a lot of everybody likes Price. He's beloved in this community. I think without any further ado, and I think we have some ceremonial things here. Yeah, we have a certificate. Woo-hoo! Can write some poems with this? Please welcome our next Pikes Peak Poet Laureate, Mr. Price Strobridge.
I just want to stand here and smile.
Take your time.
You know, this energy in this room of love, it's felt. I'm glad it's got round walls in this beautiful space so that it can just keep bouncing around and around. And I think of those things, how everything goes around, like David brought out with the poetry, and how the avuncular, his uncle, you know, the avuncular connection to Ludlow, and now it's this beautiful poetic novel. And about this space, this is a Carnegie Library, a great, beautiful, artistic, architectural gift. And somebody went to bat and saved it, and he died in 1919, and that same year my mother was born. And she went to school over here at what is now known as Palmer, it was Colorado Springs High School, graduated in 1937, and I was telling her about the beauty of this room, and she says, I used to walk from high school over here, that was the reading room, I love that room. So I'm glad to be here where my mother was. And so it's a real tribute and honor to be accepted for this position. I was telling Aaron, wow, I just, you know, I feel unqualified, but then I quoted Theodore Rothke. Is that the right pronunciation? See, I'm worried about Archie Bunkerisms. I've read these names. Please don't worry about it. In Chicago, there's a street named after von Goethe, and everybody says, see over on Goethe Street. So that made me feel more comfortable. But I just thought I would start with a few poems, like the Full Circle thing. Years ago, on Boulder and Tejon was a little place that was poet-friendly. It was called La Dolce Vita Literary Salon. And in those days, I was doing a rural mail route out on the plains of Fowler, and it allowed me time to muse. And in 5 years, I got 5 poems, so that's real productive for me. I know, some people write a poem a day. Denise Carr told me Lois writes a poem a day, and others do. So I'm a real late bloomer and a slow poet, but I'll learn as I go. Rothke said, we learn by going where we have to go. So for the next 2 years, I've just got to try to serve you as an ambassador and inspire poetry. I've been inspired in coffee shops. That's where I met my publisher, Chuck Cabell here, who you might hear always in connection with Amateur Pianists International, and other voices. Coach Cox coaxed me on, coached me. And so there's so many people that have helped along the way. So I just want to feel like listening. Jim counseled me, be a listener and then serve the community and inspire. Just be yourself. Everybody's got a story. Recently, I just discovered in this art community, the Marmalade, which is a live storytelling event in Smoke Rush. How uplifting. That's just pure poetry and catharsis. Hey, that's a good poem to start with. I'll start with the poem because it was given to me by someone in the community. Remember Dr. Alex Blackburn with University of Colorado? Well, I was working in his home. I'm a tradesman by profession and a poet by passion. So I thought, hey, Dr. Blackburn, could I bounce a line off of you? Sure. So I bounced a poem on him, and he says, that might be a viable poem. Just work on that first line. So then I got the courage from him to send it in to Midwest Poetry Review, and they published it and gave me money. So that I immediately went to have coffee with Chuck Cabell and Coach Cox and get some ideas. So I'll start with that. It's just an ars poetica poem, celebrating poetry. A catharsis with an epigraph from Aristophanes. He said, by words a mind is winged. Oh, no, that's another poem. This is catharsis. Novalis said, poetry heals the wounds inflicted by reason. Beauty's voice cries out in the wilderness, summoning art to clear away the scattered stones that block our way, purging frustrations, turbid emotions, taming to art tumultuous oceans, blood to ink, essence to art, clearing the stones that clutter the heart. So now, that's a poem that was given to me.